Good evening and welcome to the meeting of the Skokie Village Board for Tuesday, September the 4th, 2018. This evening we will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Cub Scout Pack 85. Gentlemen?
Color Guard, forward march. Color Guard, halt. Post the colors. Scout salute. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color Guard, retreat. Color Guard dismissed.
Thank you. Great job, as always. The meeting will come to order, and the clerk will please call the roll.
Trustee Roberts.
Here.
Trustee Sutker.
Here.
Trustee Ulrich.
Here.
Trustee Bromberg.
Here.
Trustee Klein.
Here.
Trustee Gray Keeler.
Here.
Mayor Van Dusen.
Here, we have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is approval of the consent agenda for this evening's meeting. A motion would be in order. Trustee Klein, seconded by Trustee Gray Keeler. Is there anything on the consent agenda anybody would like to have removed? If not, call the roll, please.
Trustee Roberts.
Aye.
Trustee Sutker.
Aye.
Trustee Ulrich.
Aye.
Trustee Bromberg.
Aye.
Trustee Klein.
Aye.
Trustee Gray Keeler.
Aye.
Mayor Van Dusen.
Aye, the motion passes. The next item on the agenda is a proclamation was brought to our attention by Trustee Edie Sue Sutker. Trustee Sutker is a licensed clinical social worker, and what she has brought to our attention through the help of many of you is what I would describe as a silent crisis. It's a subject that is not readily discussed. I think many of us are uncomfortable discussing it, and yet it's something that we do need to be aware of. And I'd like to recognize Trustee Sutker to present the proclamation for us. Trustee Sutker.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas September is known around the United States as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and is intended to help promote awareness surrounding each of the suicide prevention resources available to us in our community, the simple goal is to learn how to help those around us and how to talk about suicide without increasing the risk of harm. And whereas suicidal thoughts can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, race, orientation, income level, religion, or background, and whereas, according to the CDC, each year more than 41,000 people die by suicide, and whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death among young adults in the United States, and the second leading cause of death among people aged 10 to 24, and whereas Skokie, Illinois chooses to publicly state and place our full support behind local educators, mental health professionals, athletic coaches, scout leaders, first responders, and parents as partners in supporting our community and simply being available to one another. And whereas national organizations like the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, AFSP, and the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, are on the front lines of a battle that many still refuse to discuss in public, as suicide and mental illness remain too taboo a topic to speak on, and whereas there is help available 24/7 through the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-TALK, and whereas every member of our community should understand that throughout life's struggles, we all need the occasional reminder that we are all silently fighting our own battles. And whereas connection to treatment can help prevent suicide, and taking the time to inquire about the well-being of family, friends, and neighbors through a phone call, a message, a handshake, or hug conveys caring and appreciation and can support an individual to seek treatment. Now, therefore, I, George Van Dusen, Mayor of the Village of Skokie, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2018 as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. As a licensed clinical social worker at Jewish Child and Family Services, I treat individuals, couples, and families who are suffering and need help. I never underestimate the power of the therapeutic relationship in treating emotional health issues. In Skokie, we have access to providers, including, and a lot of you are here today, please stand if I call your name, Behavioral Services, Steve Applebaum, CJE Senior Life, Christy Norick, Jewish Child and Family Services, myself and Angelo Militello, Metropolitan Family Services, Mary Rose, NAMI Cook County North Suburban, Gary Kenzer, North Shore Senior Options, a subsidiary of the North Shore Senior Center, Elizabeth Gordon, Turning Point Behavioral Center, The Living Room, Susan and Robert Haggard, and our very own Village of Skokie Director of Human Services, Beth Lindley. Thank you, Beth, for your help with this. We also have here tonight members of the Commission on Family Services, Harold Premack, Stacy Porter, Heather O'Donnell, and Angelo Militello. Sorry, Angelo. And if I may, I'd like to present the proclamation to Gary Kenzer from NAMI.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know you were the new.
Oh, my God.
I didn't know you were the new executive director of NAMI. Nice to see you. There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
You know, just very, whoop, sorry.
I want to take a picture of us.
Oh, sure. Aha.
Edie, you can hold the proclamation.
Oh,
Hold the proclamation.
You hold the proclamation.
That's it.
Thank you.
Suicide is a horrible, silent thing happening every day. We get calls all the time from people who are thinking, feeling like there's no life beyond today. And the best thing that we could all do, as you've mentioned, is reach out and call. If you're concerned about a fellow citizen, give them a call. Knock on their door. Say hello. Give them a hug. They just need a human connection. If you provide that human connection to people, you can't go wrong. And I want to thank the village, my home community, and our home community for NAMI for this proclamation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I do want to thank Trustee Sutker, but also all of the organizations that do so much. It's done quietly, but it's the heavy lifting. It's the kind of subject that none of us like to talk about, but it's surprising the number of families across the country that are affected directly and indirectly by suicide. And as Gary just said, it's so important to just reach out and try and connect. And services are available. And one of the great things about our community is that we do have the services available. And so I want to thank all of you who've come this evening for that and for all of the work and your dedication. The next item on the agenda is the Business of the Year Awards. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the chair of our Consumer Affairs Commission, Joanne Heberlein. Joanne?
First, I would like to thank you, Mayor, and all the trustees for this opportunity to recognize some of the outstanding businesses in Skokie. I feel honored to be part of the Business of the Year program. Just a quick recap of how the program works. Customers of Skokie businesses are encouraged to nominate a business they believe is worthy of the title Business of the Year. This year we had 45 different businesses nominated, several with multiple nominations. All businesses nominated were sent a questionnaire which asks for more information on their business. This year, honorable mention certificates go to Leading Edge Dental Center, Payvan Supermarket, King Cuts, Stephen Edidin Dentist, Flawless Homes, Sweetie Pies, Skokie Nails and Spa, Randy Ramos Salon, Keurig Irish Pub, Mini Man Monkey Brains. I have to go there. Supreme Dance Studio. Congratulations to these businesses. You do Skokie proud. This year, there are 3 businesses that are receiving Business of the Year runner-up awards. One of these businesses is Jerry's Quality Meats, who was nominated by Jason Kandick. To the question, why does this business deserve to be Business of the Year? Jason wrote, Jerry has been a butcher on Dempster for as long as I can remember, a butcher with 45 years of experience. However, on Jerry's questionnaire, he puts it at 60 years of experience. He is a gem in our community. He and his team offer up great meat recommendations. And just as a little aside, when I did some checking on Yelp, all of the reviews for Jerry's Meat Market on Yelp were 5s. That's rare. Yeah, awesome.
When you said that's rare, was that a pun?
Oh,
Just asking,
that was good, Mayor. That was good. If I had only thought of that.
That was very well done, Mayor.
Several of us who have not been customers are looking forward to shopping at Jerry's. Unfortunately, Jerry Roberts cannot be here tonight. And I don't think there's anybody from the market here, am I right? Okay. The second runner-up is Marge's Flowers, who received 3 nominations from the Gleese family, Ann Tennis, and Nancy Ann Osaka. Gloria, would you like to come up? She can be here with me while I talk about her.
Okay, thank you.
According to Gloria, on her questionnaire, they have received awards from FTD and Teleflora. Some of the nomination comments are, they can be counted on to be pleasant and customer-focused. They go out of their way to please and to brighten others' days with their beautiful floral designs and outstanding customer service. Another comment was, their concern for all is amazing. Marge's Flowers and its owners and staff represent the best of Skokie. And another comment was, they are the best and especially deserving of this honor because of their more than 60-year investment as a business in Skokie.
Actually, 68 it was, April.
Well, more than
Right, more than 60,
60,
right, yeah.
So,
John Avon Busby, yeah.
whoops, I'm reaching something on the other side of me. But I have to go over here because they'll yell at me because then I'm not
Okay.
the mic. And I don't want to get yelled at. You didn't hear that, did you? Okay. Anyway, I would like to present a certificate of appreciation to Gloria and thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Ron wishes he could be here, but he's very sick, so
Do you
he
wanna-
thanked you very much
Thank
too. And we hope and pray we can serve you for a long time. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The third runner-up is Jane's Hallmark. And if you've noticed a trend here, Jerry's and Marge's and Jane's. So if you want to start a business in Skokie, just use your first name. Jane's Hallmark has been in Skokie since 1982. One of the answers to the questionnaire question, why do your customers select you instead of a competitor, was 3 of my employees have 15 years of experience, 15 years of service. They live in the community and know everyone. Underlined question mark. One has been here for 30 years. And the owner, Mark Radulski, cannot be here tonight, but Susan Grossman, I have to get this all right, Iris Smith, Linnea, wait, gotta look at my notes. Hernandez, and I think there was somebody else too.
Cynthia Barron is here.
Cynthia Barron. Would you like to come up, please? Jane's was nominated by Bonnie Brown, who's also here tonight. This is a lady I want to meet, and now I have, so. She wrote a 4-page letter with her nomination addressed to the Consumer Affairs Commission. Think you all might like to hear some of her statements. I have come to know and really appreciate Jane's Hallmark and the welcoming feel I receive every time I go into the store, which has been many times over the last 16 years since I moved to Skokie. I know Jane's Hallmark is a small store, but they have a big heart, and that's what makes Skokie the special town that it is. I deeply appreciate all the hard work the people who run our community go through to keep it up and running. I know it isn't always easy. Thank you for having this program. The small businesses need the thanks and recognition for a job well done. Personally, I would like to nominate Bonnie for Skokie Cheerleader Extraordinaire. So I would like to present you with this certificate of appreciation for the wonderful store you run, and the Susan Grossman here, she probably knows everybody in the village of Skokie. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, everyone. We appreciate.
Would you like to?
Oh, yeah,
You
sure.
can say something.
I'm kind of loud though, so I might not need the whole mic. On behalf of my staff with me today, I want to say thank you, Bonnie, for nominating us. It really means a lot to us, and we hope that we can serve the Skokie community for many more years. Come on down, say hi to us. We like to know a lot of you by name, and hopefully you'll learn ours too. Thank you.
That would be you. And since I have the absolute most wonderful members of this commission, the Consumer Affairs Commission, I would like to invite them to come up. Cliff Levy, George, Matthew, Cliff, I said Cliff, Howard Meyer, Estelle Greenberg, and Bijou Christen. Would you come up here, please? Just right there. The 2018 Business of the Year was nominated by Patricia Ansuni, who wrote, "They are a full-service hardware store with a skilled and knowledgeable staff." Yup, the 2018 Business of the Year is Ace Hardware. And Paul, would you like to come up and join us too? Paul McGivern, in his response to the questionnaire, reminded us that they are independently owned and have been part of the Skokie community since 1912. That was before I was born. They were a founding member of the Skokie Chamber of Commerce. This year, Skokie Ace turned 106 years old. They are the oldest continuously operating business in Skokie. The original name was the Skokie Mercantile Company, and they joined the Ace Hardware family in 1928. In all these years, Paul is just the second owner. I think that's extraordinary. When last checked, Skokie had about 24,000 households, and in his database of rewards customers numbers just under 32,000. So it would seem that the vast majority of Skokie residents come to Ace at least occasionally, and not only for the free popcorn. Ace is very involved with giving back to the community through the ACE program, Miracle Network, support to Lurie's Children's Hospital through an in-store fundraiser, product donations and gift cards to many churches and synagogues in Skokie. They also work with the Skokie Park District and sponsor the Scream Scene Halloween event. One of Paul's comments really resonated. There are so many really great businesses in Skokie that I do feel honored to be nominated. That was before he knew he won the award. I have always told people that this isn't my store, it's Skokie's store. I'm just the current caretaker. Mr. Mayor, would you help me do the honors? And it's got your name on it.
Congratulations, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
And this is a certificate of appreciation and identifying Ace Hardware as business of the 2018 Business of the Year.
That's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'll take that if you want to say a couple words.
That's almost the size of the Stanley Cup.
great, thank you.
And you can put anything in here you want. You can travel around the village.
Yeah, popcorn.
It is good popcorn, by the way.
Thank you, sir. Well, if I could just say a couple words, thank you very much for this award. Thank you to the commission, and thank you to all my customers. I'd also like to have a special thanks to the people I work with every day. They work really hard, and they're focused, and they're dedicated, and they really work tirelessly to fulfill our mission, which is to be the best hardware store on the planet and to take care of our friends and neighbors as best we can. So thank you. A couple quick things. August 1st marked my 20th year at the hardware store. So the first owner had it for a lot longer than I did. And the other thing I'd like to say is, in September, let me take a step back. Ace Hardware's national advertising company came to me and said, we've finally found a store that we want to use in our advertisements nationally. So a couple Mondays ago, 3-4 Mondays ago, the village, thank you, allowed us to shut down Oakton Street. We did a big photo shoot of the store. And later this month, the commercials are going to start airing all over the country, and it's going to feature Skokie store. Skokie store. That's it. One thing though, one thing is they have to Photoshop the Skokie off the front. So it'll only say Ace Hardware, but we'll all know that that's our store.
We know.
It's our store. So again, thank you everybody. Thank you trustees and mayor
Thank you.
for all you do for our village. And come shop.
We will. And I would like to also introduce John and Will Haben, who were last year's Skokie Business of the Year. John and Will, thank you.
Yes. You keep that. It better be right front and center. You're going to say something to the Haven?
Yes,
Okay. Then I'm done.
thank you. On behalf of the board, I want to thank all of the businesses, Paul's, Jane's, Jerry's, and Margie's, all with first names. The one thing that strikes me about all of the businesses that have been recognized this evening is that they share certain common characteristics: fair pricing, friendly service, and convenient access. They all exemplify everything that is good in local small business. And I think we can all applaud the idea that small business is the heart of the economy of the United States. And all of these businesses show that. And Paul, that was wonderful news to hear about your national advertising. You deserve it abundantly. And thank you for your 106 years of business. And isn't it remarkable? Only 2 owners over a period of 106 years. Congratulations. And congratulations and thanks to all of our nominees and our winners. And I do want to thank the Consumer Affairs Commission for all of the work that they do. It is not always easy to make these kinds of awards. It takes a lot of work. And also, it's the Consumer Affairs Commission that runs our farmers market, which also is an award winner. I think, as everybody is aware, the farmers market was recognized by the Chicago Magazine a couple of years ago as being the best local farmers market in the region. And there's good reason for that. Paul's business exemplifies it. We keep our emphasis on Skokie and our consumers here. and we haven't lost sight of that. So Joanne, thank you. Thanks to the Consumer Affairs Commission. Congratulations, Paul, again. And John and Will, thank you as well for everything that you've done. And speaking of John and Will, next item on the agenda is report of our village manager, John Lockerbie.
Thank you, Mayor Van Duzen and Village Board. Item A this evening on my agenda is regarding a commercial corridor storefront enhancement program grant for the business located at 8057 Niles Center Road. Longtime resident and Skokie business owner John Haben has applied for funding under the Commercial Corridor Storefront Enhancement Program. Mr. Haben operates Haben Funeral Home, was the business of the year last year, and recently celebrated its 100th anniversary. Mr. Haben is implementing aesthetic and functional upgrades to the exterior of the building, including new awnings, tuck pointing, signage, exterior door painting, front railing repairs, and parking lot and landscaping improvements. Mr. Haben has also has plans for interior improvements, which will entail upgrading the overall HVAC systems and merchandise selection showroom portion of the building. Estimates for the interior work total approximately $44,000. Of that amount, $17,580 is deemed eligible for reimbursement. Exterior costs are anticipated at $18,300, and $7,320 is deemed eligible for reimbursement, along with the maximum architectural fees of $3,000. The total village grant will not exceed $27,900, which would be transferred to the owner following the completion of all of the work, final inspections, and submittal of all of the required documentation. Leslie Murphy, who's standing at the podium and is an integral part of the village's economic development team, is going to provide an overview of the storefront enhancement program that the board implemented 2 years ago. And once she's completed, mayor and board approval of a grant in an amount not to exceed $27,900 is respectfully requested for Haben Funeral Home located at 8057 Niles Center Road.
Thank you, John. I am pleased to particularly be here tonight because we, the Village of Skokie has also implemented, prior to this storefront enhancement program, we've had a number of recipients of TIF dollars over the years that have helped many small businesses enhance their interiors as well as upgrade their exteriors. And one of our shining gems on Oakton Street has been the Ace Hardware building. So I'm very pleased to see that the national audience will be able to see the benefits that the Village of Skokie can provide to outdoor exterior rehab. The storefront enhancement program has been implemented as a result of the success of the downtown tax increment financing as well as the West Dempster tax increment financing rehab programs. And we had a number of businesses over the years come to the village and indicating that they would like to be part of a 50-50 split like we have with maximums. We've implemented very successfully over the years. We didn't have a ready source for that because tax increment financing funds were used for those. So staff developed a program that allowed for the use of economic development funds that come from a variety of sources, including the real estate transfer tax funds, to help businesses that are outside of our TIF districts in some of the commercial areas that could also use a little bit of spurring on them to invest. So we implemented this a couple of years ago, and one of our first applicants was last year's runner-up to the Business of the Year Award, Flawless Homes. We quickly received several other applications from companies or businesses that were looking to open up that were no longer in a TIF district. Sugo Italian followed. And then we had a dual purpose applicant. The owners of the ACH Builders and Teddy Rose Salon, also on Oakton, came to the board, came to staff and then to the board. So we've, in a short order, we established about 4 very active rehab programs, including T-Rex Bubble Tea that also is over in the Gulf area near Old Orchard. After that, we had a little bit of a lull, and so we started implementing a more aggressive marketing program for it. We had a couple of small requests, and then we had 2 more recent applications from 2 immigrants that had come into town. One is still pending, and the other one is not sure if they're going to be able to go forward, and that's the Shawarma restaurant. Our most recent applicant is Haven Funeral Home, and they were once in a TIF district and never asked for any sort of rehab assistance, and now that they're outside of a TIF district, the time came for them to do some implement some improvements, and so they qualified for that. What you don't, okay, here we are. So I did just a quick check based upon the request of the manager today. Right now, we've had a private investment total of over $850,000 among these 8 applications, and totaling $246,000 in grants, which is almost a 4-to-1 ratio. For every dollar of public funds that goes into these projects, almost $4 is created. So we've been pretty successful. We're hoping to do a few more this year. We have several pending on all these different streets: Oakton, Lincoln, Main, and Dempster. But you can see on the map where most of the applications are coming from. We'd like to get a few more on the eastern side of town, Oakton, Church, Dempster, and Main Street. We have had a few applications, but a lot of the applications have to come in fully comprehensive. Some just want to do this or that, and we do encourage them to do as much as they can because it's a one-time shot. Any questions?
Let me first take a motion would be in order, Trustee Roberts, seconded by Trustee Ulrich. Comments or questions?
I just,
Trustee Roberts?
Haven's Funeral Home is a institution in town, and I think they're the best in the business. And I always feel so welcome every time I'm there. Unfortunately, that's a place you have to gather at times, but John and Will, you run an outstanding business.
You've been in business 100 years.
He has to make a clarification on that. That was my fault.
Yeah, for the record, we're in our 95th year.
95th, okay.
Sorry about that.
Not 106 yet. No, no. But that will, call the roll, please.
Trustee Roberts.
Aye.
Trustee Sutkar.
Aye.
Trustee Ulrich.
Aye.
Trustee Bromberg.
Aye.
Trustee Klein.
Aye.
Trustee Gray Keeler.
Aye.
Mayor Van Dusen.
Aye, the motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Items B, C, and D were approved as part of tonight's consent agenda, and that completes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is report of our Corporation Counsel, Michael Lorch.
Thank you, Mayor, trustees. Good evening, everyone. Item A is an ordinance on my agenda for first reading tonight. This ordinance is really a matter of housekeeping. It establishes the compensation for the village manager, deputy village clerk, corporation counsel, and assistant corporation counsels for the fiscal year 2019. And this is pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 3 of the Skokie Village Code. And these salaries are consistent with the village budget as it has been proposed and approved. Mayor, this ordinance will be on the September 17th, 2000 agenda for second reading and adoption at that time. And unless there are any questions, that would conclude my report.
Any comments or questions? Being none? The final item this evening is a Plan Commission report. Chairman Paul Luke with Peter Pyer.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the board. Tonight I have one case for you. It's case 2018-21P, site plan approval for 9300, 9310, and 9440 Kenton Avenue. This is a request for a sign plan approval for a school district administration property at 9440 Kenton Avenue and a junior high school property at 9300 to 9310 Kenton Avenue in a R1 single-family zoning district. Skokie School District 68 is requesting a new 48 square foot ground sign with changeable copy and retention of the other existing ground and wall signs located on its administration and Old Orchard Junior High School campus. New ground sign is proposed to be installed near the intersection of Kenton Avenue and Grosse Point Road. Since the campus is more than 1 acre in area, improvements to the site necessitates a site plan approval for the sign package. The sign will be located outside the site distance triangle formed by Kenton Avenue and Grosse Point Road at the right-of-way intersection. Tree protection fencing will be provided during the sign installation. The Plan Commission is supportive of the petitioner's request.
A motion on Plan Commission Case 2018-21P, site plan approval, 9300, 9310, and 9440 Kenton Avenue is in order. Trustee Gray Keeler, seconded by Trustee Klein. Are there any comments or questions? Trustee Roberts.
Did I read in the report that there's an ability to dim the sign when needed for the residents in the area?
If they receive complaints,
dimmable,
they can lower it, but it won't be done automatically.
but they have control over that
Yes.
if needed. Okay, thanks.
Call the roll, please.
Trustee Roberts.
Aye.
Trustee Sutker.
Aye.
Trustee Ulrich.
Aye.
Trustee Bromberg.
Aye.
Trustee Klein.
Aye.
Trustee Gray Keeler.
Aye.
Mayor Wenders.
Aye. The motion passes.
That concludes my report.
Thank you. The concluding item this evening is citizen comments. In this vast cavern, is there anybody who wishes to address the board? Trustee Roberts, it's your turn.
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.